here's the main character doing his best to fulfill his function in the big picture, make it through these dramatic explosions, get the job done, and come out of it alive. And being very involved with the people who are dying on the left and the right. And the main character trudges down this path, the best course that he can choose from, based on his experience. This is how I'm going to get everything accomplished and get out of this. When all of a sudden, through the smoke of the dramatic explosions, here comes a shadowy figure that's too far away and too smoky to see if they're a friend or a foe. An enemy soldier, enemy uniform, or a friendly uniform. But that shadowy figure shouts to the main character, "Change course." The main character thinks, well, yeah, that's fine, all well and good, but my experience tells me this is the best way to go. No, I'm not going to change course. Why would I want to do that? And the main character shouts back at this character, this obstacle character, and says, "Get out of the way. Get out of my way." And the obstacle character shouts back, "No, you change course." Main character, "No, you get out of the way." Well, this obstacle character provides the third point of view. We're not standing in the obstacle character's shoes, but we're looking at the obstacle character through the eyes of the main character. We're staring at them the whole time, fixated on them because they're standing in the middle of our path blocking it. And we look at this character with great concern, and we see them and see what they stand for and see the arguments they make to us, and we're affected by those arguments, but we're trying to determine as we go, this soldier who's either the enemy or my own soldier is making a lot of good points. They're telling me, change course or I will walk right into a minefield. But I think the way is clear. My experience tells me the way is clear. But this character keeps saying to me, the soldier, you're going to walk into a minefield. You've got to change course. Well, maybe I will walk into a minefield. And the main character might have moments of doubt. But, on the other hand, what if I step off the path to avoid walking into a minefield, and it's actually a trap, and I walk right into an ambush, and I'm killed? I don't have enough information, and that's the plight of the main character. The main character, from being inside the story, cannot get enough information to make that decision. So the main character is ultimately faced with a leap of faith, saying, I cannot tell whether to go with this way or that way, but I've only got these two choices, and I've got to pick one, and time is running out, or I'm out of options. So what am I going to do? Flip a coin. Which way will I go? The audience doesn't know which way the main character will go. But from the objective story, from the big view, they can tell which direction the main character ought to go, which one holds the key to success, which one holds certain death. So we now have 3 points of view. This wide perspective, this passionate view of the main character, and this pesky obstacle character that we're looking at the whole time, who's making this argument to us over the course of the story. 4th point of view coming up. The 4th point of view is actually the relationship between the main character and the obstacle character, because as they get closer and closer, they have an ongoing personal skirmish right in the middle of the big picture war. They start slinging back and forth shots at each other, firing at each other, trying to get each other to change their course. The main character tries to get the obstacle character to jump out of the way. The obstacle character tries to get the main character to step off the path. In the end, one will get the other one to change. Even if they come up right against each other and at the last moment, one will stick with his or her guns, the other one will be changed by that steadfastness, like a game of chicken. One will give up because the other one won't budge at the last moment. And then we'll find out if the one who changed made the right decision. You see, the obstacle character might very well be a friend who's trying to save the main character. But if the obstacle character can't stick with his or her guns, he might change, and the main character would go on to destruction. So just because one caves in doesn't necessarily ensure success or failure, or that it's good or bad for the main character. This can only be determined after the fact, and you as the author can have it go either way. That's what your message is, that when it looks like you ought to change, or when it looks like the possibility exists to either change or stick by your guns in this particular kind of problem, if you choose this way, it leads to doom, or it leads to success. Change might be the right thing or the wrong thing, or steadfast might be the right or the wrong thing. You decide in your story structure